Hey guys, Matt here. This is my review of Kick-Ass 2. This movie is directed by Jeff Wadlow, who previously directed Never Back Down. In this movie stars Aaron Taylor Johnson, Chloe Grace Moretz, and Christopher Mintz-Plasse. The plot of this sequel to Kick-Ass is everyone is adjusting to the events of the first movie. So Kick-Ass joins a group of superheroes, Hit Girl decides to adjust to high school life, and Chris D'Amico decides to get revenge on Kick-Ass by forming his own group of supervillains. My expectations going into this movie were very high because I simply loved the first movie. I loved everything about it. And so I saw the trailer and I was like, okay, the cast of characters that we know and love are back. That's cool. There's a new supervillain in town. And hey, there's Jim Carrey. So I was excited for it. And I saw the movie. And even though I enjoyed it and I liked it, pardon the cliche, but this movie wasn't as kick-ass as I thought it was going to be. Let's start with the acting in this movie. Aaron Taylor Johnson as Kick-Ass, he worked. He's much taller and he's bigger than he was in the first movie, but he still has the mindset of Kick-Ass and he still has the squeaky voice of Dave Wazowski, so he worked. Chloe Grace Moretz as Hit Girl, this was a different role for her. I mean, she still played Hit Girl, but it was like Christian Bale in Dark Knight Rises, where Batman was in the movie, but he played more of Bruce Wayne. That's what Chloe Grace Moretz had to do in this movie. She played more of Mindy McCready adjusting to high school than she did Hit Girl. So she had a lot more to act with, but that plot with her really dragged the movie down. And then you have Christopher Mintz-Plasse as the mother effer, the villain in the movie. He was funny at times, like his one-liners were a little unexpected, but he just came off the same way he did in the first movie where he was kind of whiny. He really wasn't prepared for the hero or the villain type of life, so he kind of grew and adjusted to that aspect late in the movie. Now on to Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey was a pleasant surprise in this movie because he was violent, he played a military guy, and he played a superhero. So this was unlike anything he's done before. He was a good addition to the movie. Some things I did like about this movie was the original Kick-Ass score as well as one other song were used again in this movie. I'm glad they didn't give it a new soundtrack to kind of give the movie new direction. I also liked how all of the original cast except for two people were used in this movie. I liked how Katie, Kick-Ass's girlfriend, and Kick-Ass's dad were also back despite their brief appearance. And now the problems with Kick-Ass 2. The biggest one for me was that this movie felt really over the top, like they were trying to compensate for something. And I know exactly what that was. Throughout the movie, you have references to the two missing father figures. You have Chris D'Amico's dad, played by Mark Strong in the first one, and Hit Girl's dad, Big Daddy, played by Nicolas Cage. And all throughout the movie, they have references to them, they mention them, they have pictures of them and whatnot. And it's funny because not only did those characters miss Nicolas Cage and Mark Strong, but so did the audience. Because to me, and I'm sure to a lot of other people, those two roles made the first movie really good. And so the sequel just didn't feel the same without them. Another big problem this movie suffers from is in the first movie you had a subplot of Dave Wazowski and Katie, you know, him liking her but her can't knowing about him being Kick-Ass, so you had that subplot. In this one they tried to do that with another subplot, but it was Mindy McCready, aka Hit Girl, trying to survive high school. And yeah, the idea is there, you know, you want to show some progression in your characters, you want to show them growing up and getting older and dealing with real life situations, but this segment really came off like I was watching Mean Girls. They really should have just edited it or handled it a different way, or maybe they should have done the subplot of Hit Girl not wanting to join the group of superheroes, you know, her wanting to be a loner because that's the way her dad raised her, maybe her wanting to feel like an outcast and not belonging, and then eventually joining the group. That's what they should have done. For those of you that have read the graphic novel, Kick-Ass 2, if this movie is based more on that, then let me know, because I don't know if I should blame that or if I should just blame the director. Because even though this movie does have the same title and songs and characters and kind of same theme as the first one, this movie doesn't hold up to its predecessor. And because of that, I'm going to give Kick-Ass 2 a B-. I liked the movie, but the parts that I really liked were too far and few between. So until next time, guys, see ya.